trying to sway you cause I ain't got all the answers. I'm just trying to convey to you, I be taking some chances. If my shit don't pertain to you, you can check out your man shit. You ain't teach us a damn thing, you ain't give us the game. We was giving you signals, but you ain't give us
Hi.
the lane.
Welcome to another episode of I Don't Have the Answers, but let's talk about it anyway. I'm your host, Tim the Answer Man 4, and I appreciate you joining me. So this past weekend, I was reminded that I am raising a mini version of myself. It was not pretty. So every year in December, we take a trip and we go to Disney World. Spend a couple days at one of the Disney resorts, and we go to one of the parks. This year we had the opportunity to go to two. And during the first day, like many parents, I've even watched a lot of parents doing this, I spent the whole day hearing, Daddy, can I have? Daddy, can I have? Daddy, can I have? Can we do? Can we do? Can we do? Daddy, what about this? What about this? What about this? And like most parents, my initial response to almost every one of them is no, 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 cave in. I know, don't judge me. I'm sorry. I'd like to spoil my little guy. I have the opportunity to do so, and I'd love to do it. But then the next day, when we got a chance to go to Hollywood Studios, and I find myself in my version of Mecca, don't judge. I'm a Star Wars fan, and I was at Galaxy's Edge. And I spent the next few hours looking at my wife saying, honey, can I have? Honey, can I have? Can I have? Can I have? Can I have? And she bluntly pointed out that it's the same thing that just the day before our little guy was doing to me. And I got kind of heated at that the day before. Then it didn't really stop me. I still said, well, can I have anyway? I was hoping for the next step, that whole cave in and say yes. And she did. It wasn't necessarily a cave in. It was her relenting to my constant attack. And it brought something up and that I thought that I'd talk about today. Impulsive friends, impulsive disorders, and how we can help our friends that have impulsive issues. Because we're human. Not all of us have these issues the same as everyone else, but we are impulsive in nature in some regard. And some doses of impulsive behavior is okay. But when it goes to an extreme level, I have found that we need to step up and be the good friends that we're supposed to be, the family members we're supposed to be, and offer our support. Now, there are a couple warning signs, so to speak, that you should be aware of if your friend is having an issue with impulsive behavior disorder. And just to make sure that I'm hitting all of these correctly, I'm going to look over to the side and read off my script that I have up here. Some of the signs that your friend has impulse control disorder is aggression, stealing, lying, engaging in risky behavior, impatience, physical injuries or scars from either fights or impulsive behavior, appearing to obsess over certain things, irritability, isolation, and emotional detachment. Now, as I've said before, I am not a mental health professional. So these are just recommendations and information that I've taken from reviewing this particular subject on multiple different sites and media. So these next couple things are my recommendations. It's nothing I found anywhere. It's just me cultivating ideas over years. Now, the first thing is never confront someone about their impulsive behavior while they're being impulsive. Now, that doesn't mean just sit back and let it happen. try to help them be safe. If you have the ability to protect them from injuring themselves or others, or maybe protect them from a massive financial impact, spiritual impact, moral impact, legal impact, then please do it. Make sure you step in. Other than that, kind of let the event take its course. Keep track of what's going on. Take notes if you have to. But don't interfere right then. When it is a safe time and appropriate amount of time has passed and level heads are present, that is the time where you take the next step. I recommend not doing it on neutral territory. This is one of those situations where you want them to feel comfortable. You want them to feel like they're in a place where they have a little control. Because you're about to tell them that you feel that they have a problem with being impulsive. Once you have located the appropriate place and time, then carefully and tactfully explain what you saw. Don't try to place blame one way or another. Just carefully explain that you observed them doing blank. Then be supportive. Let them know that you're not just telling them to change and gonna step away. No, you're gonna help them. I recommend helping them to find a support group of the adequate nature. Find a place that they can talk to like-minded individuals and also professionals. There's lots of places out there. Also, there's a few hotlines that I'll put in the end that'll help, if necessary, that you can tell your friends about. Think of ways together that they can mitigate the impulsive behavior. If they feel or if they are aware that an impulsive behavior is going to happen, maybe come up with a trigger word or an event that they can replicate easily to take them out of that frame of mind. I had a friend of mine who had impulse control issues when I was in the military. And he was quick to get into fights. Also quick to get into physical relationships that he never should have. That he never had any intention of following up on, let's face it. And it was damaging his military career. So I took it upon myself to do some research at the time. This is now going on 22 years ago. I didn't have even close to the answers I have now. But I got him some help. And he made some changes in his life once he was made aware that he had the power to make those changes. So one of the biggest things that we can do as friends and family members is not just to point fingers and walk away. We need to be there for them as they're working through their problems. Not to constantly tell them that they're doing wrong, but to support them on their way to doing right. So pay attention to your friends. The impulsive nature that they might be exhibiting that seems like nothing in a one-off situation. But when taken in the grand scheme of things, when you see that this is a repetitive impulsive behavior, be that support that they need. Step in and offer your caring heart, your love. Be the shoulder that they can cry on, because there will be tears. It is a big part of getting back to some semblance of normalcy. If we all take a little bit of the responsibility to hold each other accountable, maybe, just maybe you can be the friend that saves them from themselves. Of course, I could be wrong. I don't have all the answers. Thank you very much for joining me, and have a wonderful evening.
The boy is off Broadway.